Hey there, everybody. Quick Evolve guide for you. This is something that I've been wanting to talk about since release, actually since before release, that I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of as well as they really could. You know, watching a lot of Evolve streams, people are basically using their weapons and letting them reload in their hands and then not just switching to other stuff. So I wanted to introduce the concept of rotations with your hunters. And doesn't mean like, like with multiple hunters rotating locations and positions and tactics. I mean just you personally doing your own personal rotations to maximize both your offense and your defense. So let's get started. I wanted to talk mostly about Kyra first. Since she is my favorite hunter, she is a great example of how this works. So she has two weapons that she can use, and she has two passives, kind of. So her two weapons that she can use that she actually has to switch to and from are her healing grenade launcher and her flame grenade launcher. So generally what you want to be doing with Kyra is using your healing grenade launcher to obviously keep your team healed. Easy enough, right? Well, what I see a lot of people doing is they will fire, the capacity of their magazine, and then they will just sit there and watch a reload animation, and then they'll start firing again, which doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you choose a reload speed perk and you want to just forego your flame grenade launcher and just have utmost efficiency with your healing, then by all means, go for a reload speed perk and watch it. But if you don't want to go for a reload speed perk, you don't want to go for a speed switch perk, you want to go for something else entirely, like health regen or damage mitigation or whatever. Sometimes using the rotations of your hunters is a really, really important thing to do. So, for example, with Kyra, like I'm so terribly getting to, let's get to this finally. What she actually does with this is she's going to fire the capacity of her healing grenade mag, switch over to incendiary grenade, and just fire one, and then switch back to her healing grenades. What you're going to note by doing this over and over and over again is that the reload speed of just watching your healing grenade launcher reload and then start to fire again is about the same as switching weapons to your flame grenade launcher, firing that, and then switching back to your healing grenades and continuing your healing grenades. So it's not that much slower. Like, it is a little slower for sure, but if you don't need that maximum speed healing, getting that extra hit over and over on that monster is going to be very, very beneficial to your team, especially if it's an enemy wraith, because you're going to keep that enemy monster lit on fire and somewhat visible when it goes cloaked, at least for a short period after it goes cloaked, and then it's going to disappear. But it just helps you keep DPS up on your team, keep pressure on the monster, as well as keep your team healed up. So many different ways to play every kind of hunter. They all have different mechanics for how rotations work. For example, let's go from Markov for another one, the first assault. If you're firing your lightning gun at the monster, you run out of ammunition in the magazine, you can either A, switch to your machine gun, or B, switch to your mines, start using those, and then go back to your lightning thing once it reloads on your back. You don't have to watch that reload animation. You don't need that reload speed perk. You can use something else that'll be more beneficial to you in other ways, and then just take advantage of the fact that stuff reloads on your back instead of going for the fast reload. So I think that's very beneficial for a lot of people. Certainly it's not the end-all be-all, and it doesn't make reload speed worthless. It's actually very far from it. That's actually a really, really good perk if you are, actively using that in your build, in your loadout, in your playstyle. But it's not necessary a lot of the time. If you're not absolutely positive you need it, you probably don't, and you can go for something else and take advantage of rotations on your character. So make sure that you are studying your favorite hunter or hunters, know what all their gear is, what the reload times are, what the switch times are, and how you can maximize both your offensive and defensive capabilities with it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new, and we'll see you next time. Take care.